Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jordan Garber Daily News Update here. Yes, it is me, your host, Jordan Garber. I provide a news update to you guys each and every day. Yesterday, we had Kalen Croft on to discuss what he was up to as well, but I kind of wanted to turn things a little more Canadian-wise and specifically more locally here. We have Danny Duggan on the Daily News Update. We've been talking a lot on these news updates about the coronavirus and how it's affecting the business, but I have Danny Duggan on the line. How you doing, Danny?
I am doing fantastic, Jordan. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I love providing a daily news update. It's even better to have you on joining us for this edition of it. What's the stand for you right now in your situation? You just finished off a great coronavirus fundraiser show for your company. How did that turn out? And how can people continue to spread the word and donate to CWE?
Well, right now, the current situation with Canadian Wrestling's Elite and the coronavirus is we had to cancel a four-show tour last week. The decision was made about a week and a half out as, provincial guidelines changed across Manitoba and Saskatchewan that prevented gatherings of under 50 people, and now they're down to under 10. So we had to scratch those four events that were to be headlined by Savio Vega, who's coming in from Puerto Rico, who unfortunately would not even have been able to enter the country if those events were to proceed. So on the Friday night, which was supposed to be the Winnipeg event of the tour, we hosted a three-match special out of our training center here in Winnipeg that was closed off just for the six wrestlers and the referee. And we filmed it on Facebook Live, and it was available for free for followers of our page to watch and get their mind off things that were happening in the world today, and to kind of chip away at some of that boredom I'm sure we're all starting to feel as we're all getting a little stir crazy here. And then as well, we were accepting donations, if only in a position to do so, because we understand, a lot of people are going through the same struggle we are with canceled work and shifts and things of that nature. So we opened it up where, there was no obligation to make a financial obligation, and if you couldn't, just sit back and enjoy because you have supported us in so many other ways over the last 11 years. And if you could, they would definitely be accepted and appreciated to help chip away at the, thousands of dollars that were invested in upfront costs and making that tour happen that were now washed down the drain, that can't be recouped. So that hour special is still available on our CWE Wrestling group page, not to be confused with the at CWE Canada like page on Facebook. But if you search CWE Wrestling, you'll come on up there. You can send a request to join, and you'll have access to that. And then as we move forward here, we're still kind of in the same boat. For those not familiar with Canadian Wrestling's Elite, we are legitimately, this isn't hype, this isn't talk. Canadian Wrestling's Elite is the busiest independent wrestling promotion on the planet. We run over 120 plus events a year, and coming up on April 26th through May 31st, we have 36 events scheduled over 36 nights, spanning Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, British Columbia, Ontario, and Quebec that are currently up in the air. As of right now, we are proceeding and hoping that we're going to be in a position to run the events to some capacity, even if it's at a capped capacity, based on guidelines of what's allowed in a building at one time per government regulation. But we are understanding that it's realistic that we may have to postpone or cancel some of those dates as well, because each province has some different challenges, and it's been more severe in others that this case has hit. So we're kind of on standby right now over the next couple of weeks, seeing what decisions have to be made and if we're going to be able to proceed, because it is once again, a big tour with a lot of money invested in it, and it's supposed to be headlined by Shane Douglas, ECW icon. We got 5 or 6 different stars from Ring of Honor that are appearing throughout the tour. Jimmy Jacobs from Impact Wrestling. We have wrestlers coming in from Germany, from the UK, all over the place. So everything's kind of up in the air. It's a little frantic and a little stressful. Running a touring professional wrestling company teaches you anything, it's how to keep your cool in stressful situations and try to make the most of what's presented to you. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Absolutely, and excuse me for that, but the past 5 years here in the Manitoba scene has been really hot, and you have been responsible for that. But at the same time, there's also been a lot of competition for yourself. There's been a lot of other Winnipeg promotions who've put themselves on the map, but you have remained still the top wrestling promotion, not just in Winnipeg here, but let's say in pretty much one of the top in Canada right now. What is it like to evolve from day one, competing with guys like Steel Town Pro Wrestling, and now you're competing with like the likes of Border City Wrestling and other great Canadian promotions across Canada?
I wouldn't say we're competing with them. We have a great working relationship with companies across the 6 provinces we're going to, and that's one one of the hard things we had to change with the mentality of professional wrestling, especially independent wrestling, on the local level as we went town to town, because as you're going across 6 provinces and doing, 36 and, sometimes upwards of 40 towns on a tour, we're going into a lot of people's quote-unquote territory and into towns that they run on a monthly basis or, annual basis that, in the old wrestling mentality is to be protective of your turf. And that's kind of like an old mentality that goes back to the territory days, well before any of these guys were probably even born. That's just been kind of passed on generation to generation in professional wrestling. So we had a lot of resistance when we first started going into different provinces and into different cities. People thinking that we're coming in to take over or try to compete or try to steal business, and that's the furthest from the truth. It's in fact quite the opposite. And whenever we go into a new market, I always reach out to the promoters of the that actively run the area, and I offer to partner up with them and say, hey, we'd love to have your involvement on the show, use some of your talent. If you have any banners, promotional material, things of that nature that we can put out, promote your upcoming events. If you have tickets you'd like to sell, we'll give you live mentions at the show as well. And of course, we'll feature some of your talent in featured positions. So we've always tried to keep that door open and have an open relationship, because there is enough room for everybody. And that's one of the biggest myths of independent wrestling, is that if a fan goes to one show, they're not going to go to another. And that's completely false, especially in this day and age with social media. And people can see everybody's connected through one way or another. Fans are supportive of good wrestling, so we have had some resistance in the past. And it's more so from promoters with a lazy mentality that go, oh shit, these guys are coming in, they're bringing in a headline talent, they're bringing in international stars. My show's going to look second rate to them, or I'm going to have to put more money into my show to make it look just as special. So you get a little bit of that, and that's not what we're looking to do. We're not looking to make anybody look second tier. We're trying to put everybody on the same level and promote wrestling in general, because if our show does well and their show does well, that cycle should just keep on moving. And that's exactly what we're trying to do with everybody, and just build a positive industry that we can all make some money and continue to do this for a living at. Because anyone who's put any money into professional wrestling as a promoter or a wrestler knows the challenges that they face, in order to make that a reality. So the more we can, come together with unity, work on the same page, the more likely we're all going to come out ahead.
Absolutely, and it's most important to work together, and when you work together, things definitely go well in the long run. Now, before I plug some merchandise and where people can donate here, let's say 3 months goes by, this virus is over with. We have a big percentage of our demographic is a lot of people that want to be a professional wrestler. Tell the fans about the Elite Wrestling Training Academy and why it's one of the best schools to go to in Canada.
Well, we're very thrilled that this past February, just 2 months ago, we were able to get a full-time training facility again. And that's something we've been without for a couple of years. So training through CWE was very, very kind of on the fly, before events, and we'd set up when we could, where we could. And, a lot of great wrestlers were still produced that way based on the talent that we have available and the international experience they have, and then making the most out of the least. But now we've got a full-time training facility. AJ Sanchez is our head trainer, and anyone who's ever seen AJ as a wrestling fan knows how great of a performer he is, and anyone who's worked with him will probably rank him as one of the easiest and most preferred opponents they've ever had, because he's such a well-rounded entertainer and professional wrestler. And he runs the class, running 3 to 4 classes a week. So there's a lot of schools that are out there training once or twice a week, which I don't think is nearly enough to really learn it. When I was training, we were training upwards of 5+ days a week, and doing that repetition, you really learn to love the business, and you really learn to pick it up very quickly, because it becomes second nature. So we're trying to duplicate that, having a building that's available to us 7 days a week. So we have a lot of great opportunity here, and it's tied to a company that's running more shows than any other independent company in North America. So that's another great reason to kind of get your foot in the door with CWE, because there's going to be work for you when you get out, where a lot of wrestling schools stop producing. Once they stop producing training for you, you're out on your own and you got to figure it out. And we've got a lot of smaller shows put in place, whether it be our monthly local bar gig and things of that nature, that are designed specifically for younger talent to get reps in. That there's never a shortage of wrestling to be had once you're finished up at the wrestling school.
Now, most CWE fans know where to get their CWE merchandise, pictures, autographs, all of those sort of things. But we have a wide listenership globally here from all continents, besides Antarctica, of course. Where can people, say someone's located in New South Wales and they want to purchase, a few of the old DVDs from the good old days in 2009? How can someone do the right thing to do that?
the DVDs you're specifically mentioning are a part of our fundraising effort to try to recoup some of the massive costs that were lost on the tour that was canceled, and the thousands of dollars that have been lost before we even started the next tour, which is all the money that's been recalled from sponsors and things of that nature that either had to close their business over the last month and have no foreseeable future on when they could open, and they're usually right there by our side and helping make these tours happen. So we're doing whatever we can to try to keep it at the status it needs to be ran at in order to operate efficiently. So we released 8 DVDs from CWE's beginnings that were never released online before. They were just produced for live event sales. So they're a very rare gem that features our first ever show that was headlined by Mentolo and Daniel Bryan, who was then, of course, Bryan Danielson, in one of the best matches I've ever seen live. We've got a lot of young Kenny Omega before he got his big break in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Tyler Black before he went on to be Seth Rollins. Austin Aries while he was Ring of Honor World Champion. We got a lot of really talented guys on those DVDs, and you can go and see that and our brand new CWE Coronavirus fundraising T-shirt. All at you can go to @CWE Canada on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook for information on that. Or another avenue, if you're just a wrestling fan and collector in general, is you can go onto Facebook and type in Hot Shots Retro Rewind, and you'll find my page there. That's Hot Shots Retro Rewind and Wrestling Collectibles. And whether you collect action figures, DVDs, VHS, magazines, or any other miscellaneous merchandise that's been produced by the major companies over the years, there's thousands of items there available to you, including thousands of autographed 8x10s. Not only of stars that have been through CWE, but far and beyond that as well. So a lot of great opportunity to kill some of this downtime with some wrestling.
Absolutely. I feel like now is the best time to watch a lot of old tapes, Danny. I have the network, so I've been watching not every pay-per-view, but pay-per-views from 1985 to now. I think for wrestlers as well watching this, and anybody that is involved somewhat in the business, is a perfect time to reflect, get better, watch a lot of tapes, and for fans, just keep watching tapes and keep, watching what wrestling has right now. There's still wrestling in Japan, and there's still some WWE stuff, so support whatever's out there, and support what you can, and of course, support CWE. They are a huge backbone to how this podcast exists, so be sure to donate right away, ASAP, because this is a very important cause, and this is something that is very beneficial to a company that needs it. So once again, Danny, I want to thank you very much for the time. Any other words you have to say to our audience here before we wrap things up?
Just a general thank you for everyone for their support, not only during this time with the fundraising effort we've been had, but just for CWE in general. The tour that we're coming up on or hoping to embark on in a couple of weeks is our 11th anniversary tour. The last time we looked, we were just under 600 events that were produced as a company over those 11 years, and it's virtually a who's who of professional wrestling, either while they were big stars fresh off television or just incredible independent talent that were on their way to be big stars. And it wouldn't be possible without fans across Canada being so supportive of us and helping us become Canada's only nationally recognized brand of professional wrestling. So thank you for that, and if you haven't had a chance to check us out, please do. We just released our T-shirt that says, Canada, where real pro wrestling still lives, and that's something that we take great pride in. In a ever evolving and changing industry, that we've adjusted to as well. At the very core and roots of what we do, we're still professional wrestling the way you grew up on and the way you loved it, and we still present that genre in that fashion. So I think if you are a diehard old school wrestling fan, so to speak, or grew up loving professional wrestling, you'll love what CWE's put together.
Right on. Well, Mr. Danny Duggan, thanks for taking the time to be on the Jordan Garber Now podcast. You have yourself a great day, and of course, stay safe out there.
You too, my friend.
All right, that was the Jordan Garber Now daily news update here. Danny Duggan on the line. We're going to be discussing some wrestling news tomorrow as well. I watched a video here by Devin Nicholson about the death of Bruiser Brody. I want to talk more about that as well on a news update and on the podcast as well. But for now, this was your news update.